Now, to give you a practical example, I have this file over here open, which has a list of superheroes that we have in the world, let's say, right? So I have Ant-Man, Aquaman, and so many other Superman, X-Men, and all of these different characters that I have. And there are, how many values there are? I think there are 45 over here. 45 minus 2 is 43. So 43 superheroes over here, okay? So these are the, I've created an array of strings. So you see that's a string over here. So I'm going to just copy this and put this in our app.js over here. Okay, so now if I scroll up, I'm going to simply minimize this so we can simply go to this particular code directly. And I'm going to now slightly zoom in for you. And now let's see if a practical task in as a developer we want to do is we get a list of items. Let's say a list of blog posts, a list of products. Let's say if you are creating a shopping application. So let's say if you're on Amazon, they are actually using a loop. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, if you're on any website, any major website, if you're on Google, the results that you see, they're actually using a loop to print out all this information. So let's say in our simple example, we have a list of superheroes and we want to print that, right? How would we do that? So just by using this loop, I'm just going to actually comment this out so you actually know this particular definition. So the formula is in front of you. Now I'm going to write another loop and just modify this loop to achieve our goal. So what we need to do is print everything inside this array. So I'm going to start off and say var I is equal to 0. All right. We want to start with 0. And what we want to do is we want to first of all find out how many items are inside this array. So we know from our previous video that we can simply do arr dot length, and that's going to give us the amount of items inside that array. So array dot length should be whatever, 44, let's say. So I'm telling this for loop that run from 0 all the way to up to the length minus 1, because I'm saying less than the value. So it's going to go from 0 to the last index. And the last index is probably 44 or 43 or 45, doesn't matter, whatever that number is, right? So now I'm going to say, okay, loop, go as long as from I0 all the way to the last index of the array. And then run I. But instead of running I could simply say arr and then provide the index value. You see what I'm doing over here? We are combining our knowledge of arrays and doing this. So now if I save and refresh, you see we got the list of our superheroes printed. Now this may be coming to you as a surprise, but let's walk through this a little bit more slowly. So var I is representing the index, and as you know, the index of an array starts with a 0 value. So we're saying, okay, var is 0. As long as I is less than the length, then run this code. And what does the code say? Print out the array with the index of 0 in the first run. And the index of 0 is what? Ant-Man. So it prints that. Then it goes over here and says, okay, I++, so make it 1. Then it comes over here and says, okay, is I still less than the length of the array? That's true. So it's going to run this again. Array with I value of 1 this time because I has changed. So it prints Aquaman. And it keeps on going until it gets to the last value, which is, let's just check it out over here. I can just print arr.length. It is 44. So it's 44 items. So the index should be 43. So when it gets to index number 43, it says, okay, is I 43 less than the length? It becomes true, so it prints that, the last value. Then it becomes 44, and then it says, is 44 less than 44? It says false, so it does not run this block any further and just exits the loop. So that's how you use a for loop or a looping mechanism. The simplicity of it is the same that we have seen in these steps, but we use that power to make complex capability. So in this case, just printing a list of items. It could be more complex as printing a list of objects, and so forth. You can do whatever task you want in this block. We made it just simple as one line, but it could be multiple things. You could actually make multiple database queries, right? Which would not be a performant thing to do, but printing out information on the web is one of the more popular use cases for a loop. Talk to you in the next video.